As we all know, construction is one of the most rewarding, yet dangerous occupations in the world, a situation that is only magnified when electricity is added into the mix. With that in mind, the National Joint Apprenticeship and Training Committee is sponsoring a series of seminars across the country to draw awareness to one particularly hazardous event. It's part of the NECA-IBEW team's desire to not only reach out to contractors and craftsmen alike, but to involve owners as well. ElectricTV's Bert Goudelet has more from Canton, Ohio.
It happens somewhere every single day. It's an electrician's worst nightmare. It can be deadly, and almost always it's avoidable. It's called arc flash.
When a flash occurs, that takes place in a fraction of a second. In somewhere between a 1/6 of a second to a 1/10 of a second, the event is over. The danger of an arc flash is the magnitude of energy that is coming out of that electrical equipment as a result of the fault.
OSHA has had laws in place for decades to help prevent this, and since 1976, when the NFPA 70E committee was formed at the request of OSHA, the 70E standard has been evolving to recognize the latest safe work practices. Both OSHA and NFPA 70E generally require that work be done de-energized on circuits of 50 volts or greater. Workers and contractors have known about it, but not necessarily the customer.
Now the norm is get the work done at all costs, don't shut things down, try to do things as quickly as possible so that they can get the productivity back up to the level that they need it to be. And where we need them to be is to understanding that by doing things in that manner, they're setting themselves up for a greater downtime if there is an accident.
Steve Abbott, a second-generation contractor, assisted the NJATC in conducting seminars like this one in Canton, Ohio. One of the key functions here, according to Mike Callanan, executive director of the NJATC, is to involve the customer in the hazard awareness training.
Frequently, our members and our contractors are asked to work for customers. It's their understanding of this electrical hazard that's critical to the whole equation. They need to know what the risk and the hazards are when we come into their buildings and try to work on and near their electrical equipment. So it's an important component to have our customers side by side with us.
A whole industry has been developed to help increase safety. Everything from ways to de-energize equipment and make it electrically safe to special protective equipment, including rubber insulating gloves, flame-resistant clothing, and head, eye, and face protection designed to help protect workers when they must work energized. There are programs to guide a company through what they need to do, but it does require an upfront investment.
When we look at the cost of an electrical accident, when you have a severe burn that occurs, the average direct cost is typically over $1 million. $1 million, and the outer edge of this number is somewhere between $3 and $4 million per incident. And those are direct costs related to the medical procedures and so forth. The indirect costs sometimes can get upwards of $10 to $12 million per event. So when you put those types of numbers on a table and you compare them to the minimal steps up in cost from cotton clothing or polyester cotton clothing to proper PPE, and you compare the step up versus the incident costs, the numbers are not at all alike.
There's an older generation that's fighting the change, says NECA's Tom Shreves. But he adds, workers can no longer sacrifice safety to be macho.
When a bomb squad goes up to a sandwich bag, not knowing whether there's a bomb or a sandwich in it, they go up to it in protective equipment. They don't go up to it in a t-shirt and blue jeans. And for many years I went up to electrical panels knowing full well what the potential energy was there, but always thinking it was a sandwich and not a bomb.
Patrick Harvey thought the same way. Then in September of 1996, he was replacing a breaker in a medical center's electrical system when the accident occurred.
I just felt like there was something that was wrong. I don't know whether it was a movement of the wire or what. I honestly, to this day, I don't know.
That premonition caused him to take a step back. He warned his coworkers, then put his arms over his face for protection.
There was an explosion, and my friend was burnt on his arm, but it blew me back into a pipe behind me. I put a little indentation in my skull, and I was on fire. It burnt the copper bus in half. The copper from that bus was like bullets shooting into my chest. I had a number of places where that copper shot into me, and it's amazing that I didn't lose my eyes, from that. But I couldn't get away from it.
The scars on his arms and chest where the metal and flames penetrated are reminders of the third-degree burns he sustained over 42% of his body. He was one of the lucky ones. He lived to talk about it, but tries to forget the pain. He understands firsthand why precautions need to be taken. The question here is, did that message reach the customer?
I think the reaction to these seminars are overwhelmingly good. Most everybody in the industry has heard the term 70E. They've heard of arc flash. From a comprehensive approach, they're all looking for more information. I've had an overwhelming response to the seminar that we've had recently, and the overwhelming response has been, yes, give me the information, where can I get it? Not can I come, it's who else can I bring?
I feel that our company will benefit from this. It'll protect our employees and gives us a better understanding of what we need to do to take care of our employees.
If I had to go out of business to protect my workers, yeah, I think that's a better alternative than to take the chance on somebody getting hurt.
For ElectricTV, I'm Bert Goulet.
News and notes from around the industry up next when we return.
Even in its simplest form, we've been taught to respect the power of electricity. Why should it be any different today? And since the beginning, it's absolutely demanded the ultimate level of skill and craftsmanship to safely and effectively channel its awesome power. We were up to the challenge then, and we continue to set the standard today.
The IBEW NECA team,